My question, people always talk about having two offers as a closer. What are your thoughts on doing that for setter to have two offers? Is there something, I mean, it's not even on my mind. It's just for me to understand more in the long term, like
Yeah.
1 year down the road, 2 years down the road. Is that something doable? Is that something you think, would you recommend for a setter? What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, I'm of the opinion that like get an extremely good quality offer that helps you fulfill your income goals without needing a second. Personally, like I'm all about reducing strain and increasing skill set with like one offer so that I'm like more fulfilled in my quality of life as well as like, earning the money, performing. I don't want to focus on putting more on top of my plate. That's like for me personally, right? Is increasing my skill set in the role where I have the ability to make like 7 to 10K a month and then going from there. I would, yeah, I mean, it's really dependent, right? There's a guy that I knew, he made like 10K a month as a triager, outbound setter as well. He wasn't working that much, like 4 hours a day. Like he got to a point where his skill set was really, really good. But then I brought him on as an outbound setter for the YouTube automation offer, and he totally tanked and realized he couldn't put in the work, couldn't make it happen. And so it just depends. If you can triage for two accounts, then yes, inbound like double offer situations perfect. Like you could probably do it. But if you've got
Yeah.
like an outbound offer, a DM setter role, and then a triage mixed up, it's going to be a lot more unsustainable because
Yeah.
with outbound you need to constantly dial to find the best time
Yeah.
when people pick up and stuff like that. And if you're only having maybe 150 dials a day, you might be extremely limited with like current answer rates.
Hmm.
DM setting as well is one of those things where speed to lead in responses and actually reaching out
Yeah.
to leads is crucial. And that happens throughout a whole full day. So you're going to be needed through like a full-time gig for DMs.
Yeah. Because you need time to response is like the most important metric for a setter, right?
Yeah.
For at least at the end. So would you say based on that triage is the look for companies that have triage as the 80, 90% or maybe 100% of your job to be like the thing to go to on the 6 months, 12 months down the road, more for a quality offer, a quality job? Would you say that?
Yeah, like stay in a company where they've got outbound and they've got like a potential for triages, right? And obviously,
Yeah.
sometimes in companies they don't have it, but if they have a bunch of leads being booked to closers' calendars that clearly should not be on the closer's calendar, they can just redirect it to having a
Mhm.
triage instead. And you can mention that as a growth operator, like, hey, I noticed that your closers close rate's only at like 10-20%. Like, if you'd like, I'd be open to just taking a lot more of those calls to myself to qualify them for you and make sure you've actually got good leads on the closers' calendars. Because I'm sure they must be fed up of taking really bad calls and not getting good qualified leads through. Right. Like that's a problem that you can solve potentially, especially if you notice that the close rate's really low for like marketing leads. Um, and like what you can do, because there's different types of offers. Like first have like a really good offer, good lead flow, very, very consistent. It's quite a big business overall. It's like more of an industry leader for what it is. Stay on an offer like that. And on the side, it'll be more of like a startup-y, got like one or two setters maybe. Like they're on a growth pattern. If you get those kind of offers combined, that's a really good combination. Assuming that work-wise, like you've built that trust with the big company initially to the point where it's like, even if you drop off a little bit, you've still got that trust from all the work you've done up front and, you proved yourself to perform. Then you've got the leverage to add something else onto your plate. Um, but yeah, like a full 8-9 hour day doing triages, like follow up on your current leads across two different offers, it's possible. I've never done that personally. I've always just stuck with one and gone for it. But that's certainly an option if you can just do like triage it on two different accounts.
Yeah, that makes sense because doing outbounds for two different accounts, that's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty tough. And you end up just like, you probably end up saying the wrong company name for when you're doing outbound dialing.
yeah,
Also,
yeah,
so much easier to mess up.
awesome. Yeah.